Hello everyone and welcome back, my people. Internet is on fire. Nigerians are reacting concerning this drama between Wike and the young military officer yesterday. Some have applauded and also hailed the military officer, and some also condemned him that he was rude to Wike. But let's see what Nigerians are saying. According to Rufai, he said that the officer deserved a national award, calm, firm, and collected while Wike was busy behaving like a TikTok skit maker. Wike called him a fool, and the soldier simply replied, "I am not a fool, sir. I have integrity." That line alone finished the argument. You could almost hear sense leaving Wike's body. When wisdom failed, Wike switched to the big man script. "You were in primary school when I graduated." That is their emergency line when logic no longer works. The same playbook Umahi used on Rufai Osene. Age has become their last remaining certificate. The man stood tall, kept his men in order, and showed what real discipline looks like. In that moment, Wike went low and the officer went high. Power met principle. One was shouting, "Do you know who I am?" The other was quietly showing who he truly is. Even Nigerians are hailing him that he has restored hope to Nigerians. Why some lawyers said that the officer breached the law in that face-off with Wike. Let's look at some of the reactions from Nigerians and also what Arise News, what they are saying concerning this matter. Do well to subscribe, like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Take a listen.
My country people, I know say many of you don't see this video between Minister for FCT and the military officer. Some people say this was not professional or this or that and all. I don't know what you think about the incident will happen, but as for me, you see the military officer in this video, he must be protected at all costs. Yes. Because he is our gallant officer and he's a man of integrity. We must protect the dignity of our armed forces. In fact, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wide Shuaibu, and even Chief of Naval Staff, yes, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, we beg you, sirs, you must protect this our dear officer. Nothing must be had to happen to him. He must be given all the support as a gallant officer because he stood professional even in the face of unprecedented provocation. Yes, he is a man of integrity. It does not matter whatever was the cause of the altercation, whether they carry out legal or illegal order. The Minister for FCT has no right to address a military officer in that kind of reckless and derogatory manner. No, we reject it. No, Honorable Minister. Because when you build a system of impunity and recklessness, this is the result. When madness jam impunity, now the thing we will go see so clash of the titans. Shena only Minister for FCT the Tinubu cabinet. Is Minister for FCT the only minister in Tinubu's cabinet? Where be say since they make one person minister, the full country cannot drink water and drop cup. It is like saying now one emperor. In fact, Abuja never see minister before. Even independence, you go see billboard congratulating Minister for FCT on independence of country. It be like Nigeria get two presidents, one president for Nigeria and one president of FCT. Convoy in a power by go day the front. Everything you are a fool. No, Honorable Minister, no, you cannot address our military officers like that. These are the people where they fight war, protecting our national interest and territorial integrity. You cannot address him like that. Whether you agree, say the other way carry out there is legal or illegal, you cannot resort to self-help or political banditry. There is a channel where you fit carry out his report. You can write a petition to his superior or you can go to court. Shebi una like court. Now una go always tell us to go to court. Now una they take care of judiciary. You can go to court. You should not resort to motopark politics. No, you cannot be telling the military officer say he's not a fool and he's not a fool. You cannot tell him to shut up. If you have any grievance with what he's doing there, take it up with his superior. Every leader must be able to show character and restraint even in the face of provocation. You cannot resort to this kind of gutter language. No. Since when they make one person minister, issues of land for Abuja don't turn another thing. Now this, now that. When they say they allocate land to children, they say, and so, you can, I say you can, when I was in school, no, Honorable Minister, no. Now so they think they pain. The same way they think they pain on so as they pain them, the way we say the thing where we do was the time when they bring up Biakpo result for 2023 election. Now so Nigerians feel this impunity is big enough to go round. The way they think they go, it go touch everybody, one person at a time. Because we have decided to build a system of impunity and rascality. We must make better of our lives. Look at the show of shame. Security agents where they attached to minister, struggling and pushing with military persons, and most of them were armed. What if anything be happen? A shame of a nation. Shame on you, Nigerian leaders. Ori buruku leshe. So no matter the provocation, leaders in the country, public office holders cannot show decorum, cannot show character, cannot show composure. In fact, military officer is even showing more restraint and professionalism in the face of provocation. Because the way they think they go, now slap being remain to land for one person eye. But it kukuma good. If to send a civilian do them, by now DSS or don't land them, you know, even they see well, they go tear gas you, they carry you go throw for slaughter, they will charge you for treason, they will charge you for this. Power past power, but nothing past God. Make una see am now. Resolve this one. We take God beg you. Our military officers, you must pamper them. You must pet them. They have dignity. That uniform carries a lot of pride. You cannot insult men of our armed forces. If you disagree with whatever they are doing, that they protect house of former chief of naval staff or whatever, there is a channel to register your grievances. Learn to follow due process. Honorable Minister, follow due process. You cannot be constituted authority. You cannot be the rule of law. Follow laws and procedures. That is the way a country should go. Not to turn an entire country to behave like a zoo. Even zoo, animals go in a certain manner. This one is a lawless zoo. We cannot continue like this. Nigeria, we must build a system that they respect law and order and not allow recklessness in public office. May God help Nigeria. I tell God beg on Nigerian armed forces, protect our dear military officer because he can even become chief of defense staff. He spoke on behalf of all well-meaning Nigerians. He said he's not a fool and he's not a fool. They say make he shut up. He said no go shut up. If all Nigerians fit get the courage to speak truth to military public office holders when they know say the thing where they do they wrong, they will have a second thought. Now because everybody they do like zombie, now make una they think say una be God. You are not God. Follow due process. My name is Peter for
all this someone that they talk, I don't understand them. My body they boy. So you want try to tell me say Wike nothing push that soldier? Wike. So you want to tell me now that you could not do anything other than to make a call? So for the first time, you knew how it felt now to be intimidated, to be harassed. As they harass people, they go up and down, they collect their land. Even that women, when you take their green land that be waiting there, they call them, they've been begging and crying for months. If not, then just now you for shout, give them. I remember when you went to Olugbe, you met some developers there. They were trying to talk to you. Hey, are you talking to me like that? Are you not happy I came down? I did my work. I did this. You talk to them as if they were fools. These are citizens. When are their tax money, their money now you take the buga. You go meeting, you go carry your pikin. They go talk, you go say you they teach them work. Nigerian politics now don't be boy. Where if you work finish, they go settle you. When I go to do like this. So a rich soldier day now na prick squeeze. We can they find who to call for help. No, now the police waited there when they see protesters. Canisters go they fly, tear gas, gun go they shoot. When I not shoot so there. Who damn? When I for push soldier now. Next time when we they protest, I go carry soldier follow body. So that's when near me they wipe on. They go wipe on what's not good. We can see what's it passing. We can see small soldier big squeeze. Enough in push him. Enough in do anything. Police coordinates. Don't see una cure. I don't see what una they fear. Small boy puts you for your toes. You they make call. You they call for help. You they call Calvary. But if you want us to PDP governors, you go address them as if all of them now your ass boys. Anything they do without you is not a void. If you want to do, you go press conference for your parlor, you go sit down. CPC go ask question. You go answer. The one where you not like, you go walk out. So now small boy, I rob you for grant. So I'm not supporting intimidation. No. If the project they intimidate you, I'm not supporting more. Say, but say I don't like you, no besides support bad though. But I'm asking, so you can be this humble. They can humble you like this. So you can be this. You can be this. Hey! I don't see una cure. See police coordinates. If they tell the officer, if anything that happens to you, it's your family that will suffer. If they let us know that something will happen to you if you dare. I don't see una cure. And the rest of it that we come to the comment section and cry, hey, military was not supposed to. Will you shut up your mouths? I've now seen that these young officers, this young military can actually help Nigeria. It's their senior guy. I know I equip them. Because if this military can look at Wike like this, I wonder what he will do to bandits. I want another topic. I don't see that part, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I want to play song for Wike. What's going on?
Focusing on reactions trailing the dramatic public confrontation between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and a military personnel on Tuesday. The incident unfolded when soldiers reportedly acting on orders from a former Chief of Naval Staff forcibly removed FCT development control officials who were enforcing a directive to halt the development of a plot of land in Abuja that the minister described as illegal. Let's take a look.
Say they are former. It's order. Yes. It's not a government order. He has no former. Okay, can I tell something?
Sir, let me request to enlighten you. Sir, there is no such thing as a former vice admiral.
Okay, thank you very much.
Vice admiral is vice admiral.
It's not an officer now. He's not serving the government. Even if he's serving in government, this government property. Show me the document you have. You have no document.
So which documents?
Bring the document.
You have documents and everything has been submitted, sir.
Excuse me, I'm the minister.
Yes, sir.
You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to act in this impunity. Where the approval even to build. You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. How can that man at his level, even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me and say, look, I'm sorry, you see what I have. You will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying gun to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not God Chief of Defense Staff who spoke to me now, you could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate. I'm doing my job.
We are not intimidating anybody.
That's what you're doing.
The civilian, the engineer mobilized to site, and then staff or workers of FCDA look at the site to intimidate them.
No, listen now.
That is threatening them. And that was when the admiral gave the order.
He cannot give order against government.
Because the papers are complete and he said it's submitted.
Are you the one? Listen, you know the problem you have. Are you the one that will say, paper, show me that you are old. First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two, show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It has nothing to do with, I'm a vice admiral, I'm a lieutenant general. That is not it. We must work according to law. We must work according to law.
We forwarded it to me.
And
yes,
to who? No,
don't tell like this. Don't tell like this. Don't you try it. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't tell me. Don't try it. Don't tell me I'm lying. Don't intimidate me. Who are you? Just come and complain. Stop this here. Stop this. How do I face him? How do I face him? This is not professional. It's not professional. You can't even say the minister of this thing. The man took the Arab, who not Arab, because he was the chief of naval staff, and then he to carry line. Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you stop
and
that?
You get
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, good officer.
I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut me up.
Will you keep quiet?
You can't shut me up, sir. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool,
You can shoot anybody like that.
Sir, I'm not a fool.
Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
From the time I graduated, you are in primary school.
I'm acting on order.
For which order? You will see whether you love it here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go out to follow me.
I'm an officer. I'm not a fool, sir.
You will have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody.
So intense. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking to the press after that confrontation, Wike accused the military of intimidation, insisting that the occupants failed to provide valid acquisition documents or building approvals when challenged by development control officers.
take a look.
I don't understand how somebody who attained that position and see that he has a problem cannot approach my office to say, look, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. But simply because he's a military man, he could use that to intimidate Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons that will succumb to blackmail or intimidation. And you can imagine where you cannot even prove where are the documents. And the director of the Federal Control is there. I said, look, I was there. I said, bring the documents. You don't have the documents. Bring the approval for building. You don't have it. And how can we continue to allow lawlessness to prevail in this country? What about those who don't have the military? What about those who don't have security? It has gotten to a level where when government officials are carrying out their job, you go and bring security to intimidate them against government officials. I will not accept that.
All right, Wike has said that he had contacted the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Naval Staff, both of whom assured him the matter will be resolved. I mean, reactions have trailed. Ayo, the name of the naval officer who actually called these military personnel to get rid of those people that were developing the land.
Yes, so that's Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo, retired.
He's retired.
Yes, he was
naval
former
officer.
Chief of Naval Staff. I think he served 2 years ago.
So he's
retired but not tired.
He's retired but not tired.
He is retired but not tired. But you heard the officer there saying that he's not retired. Once a naval officer, if you can correct
He's
me.
not ex.
Oh,
So we can use the word ex Air Vice President. So you can use retired.
You can use retired, but you can't say former.
Former, yes,
okay.
former.
All right.
Yeah.
We're unraveling so many things. Yes.
Educated.
Let's take some reactions because reactions have trailed. This person wrote on X. Classic case of he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. Wike thinks say nafubara. Anyways, power isn't loud. Wike is not used to getting a no. That's why he thinks he could intimidate an officer that probably already had him in mind. These are soldiers. He could have just spoken to his superior instead of trying to intimidate or even use foul language. Now, he ended up embarrassing himself. Now, I got this comment on WhatsApp, and this person wrote, what does the law say? This is Wike versus Nigeria naval officer. We may be happy that Wike met his match today. We may even say them serve the food of intimidation where himself they serve others. But regardless of our personal opinion, the law is not emotional and will never be. Under the law, a military officer does not have the right to intervene in land dispute matters, talk less of stopping a minister from inspecting a land. Under the Land Use Act, the land ownership belongs to the governor of the state, of which Wike is equivalent to in the FCT. Land disputes are civil cases, and even the police doesn't have the right to intervene until there is a crime, like fighting. The basic responsibility of the Nigerian military is to defend Nigeria from external aggression, maintain the territorial integrity and secure the borders, suppress insurrection, and act in aid of civil authorities to restore order under specific conditions and presidential directive only. Any attempt by a military officer like what we saw today to assert jurisdiction or forcibly intervene in a non-military land dispute is unlawful and an abuse of power. That military officer and whoever sent them on that mission needs to face punishment for acting outside their legal jurisdiction. It is an insult to our democratic ruling to have military officers sent to protect ordinary land, a civil case for that matter. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Rufai is already screaming, I disagree.
Totally.
Okay, so I'll come to you, but
Yes,
before I come to you, let me take a statement as well. The former Chief of Army Staff, Toko Buratai, has condemned Wike's confrontation with the soldier, describing it as a threat to national security that demands an immediate apology. In a strongly worded release, the former army chief said Wike's public disparagement of a uniformed officer transcends mere misconduct and represent a probable threat to institutional integrity. Well, let's take that statement right now. Can we pull up that statement? It says, the minister said, a minister's verbal assault on a military officer in uniform is an act of profound indiscipline that strikes at the core of our nation's command and control structure. It deliberately undermines the chain of command, disrespects the authority of the commander-in-chief, and grievously wounds the morale of every individual who serves under the Nigerian flag. Buratai argued that such actions erode the foundation of discipline upon which Nigeria's national security apparatus stands. He dismissed suggestions that the incident was political theater, calling it instead a reckless endangerment of national order and a clear indication of undermining the federal government's authority. The former army chief demanded that Wike immediately issue an apology to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as commander-in-chief of the armed forces and to the officer whose honor was violated. He insisted that the nation's security must come first and called for decisive action rather than politics of military bashing. I mean, we've gotten two different reports to balance this story, Rufai. But, you know, this Buratai's intervention adds another, significant military voice to the growing controversy surrounding Wike's confrontation with the soldiers. Your thoughts before we take more reactions?
In the words of Nyesom Wike, if he didn't dare, he didn't dare. He never. Why I disagree with that first message you read is the fact that, do you know that the FCDA had sent security personnel to go harass the engineer working on the site before? It was in reaction to that the army now sent people there. So that analogy was wrong. The FCDA at first used force. And it's in reaction to that they brought another level of force. So you can say, oh, violation of laws and everything. But it is in reaction to that. So both of them on that score, they are wrong. The second score that is wrong, please, with due respect, how many court orders has Wike himself respected of people that he goes ahead, that they have a court paper, and they have an initial agreement, he will turn their pack around and take it? Didn't we talk about the story of those two young girls here? Didn't I challenge the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Falono, about it? How many has he respected? See, let's not deceive ourselves. Wike has acted like a god over the land in Abuja, and he forgets that you're not going to be FCT minister forever. Before you, El Rufai, he did his own. He still left in the end. Wanyo.
Meaning?
Please, be gently. Do it.
Speaks evil as well.
Do it slowly.
All right.
The third point is, you now got there. You claim that you have called before. You had called the man superior. Why was that the show? It's because you wanted to intimidate him. But the man refused to be cowed. Yerima refused to be cowed. And please, those that are trying to skew narrative, Yerima didn't insult the minister.
All right.
All he said is, stood his ground. How can you call somebody a fool and you expect him not to talk? The next thing, you are a boy. Just like one minister was calling me a boy the other day, small boy. The next thing, I was already after I finished school before. Is that the bone of contention?
All right.
Please, like I said, the Hadiza Bala Usman's index should be released to the public so that we even have a ministerial code and screening.
All right.
We can't just have all sorts of things happen like this now.
Rufa, you have more opportunity to speak. Let's take some more reactions. This is from Characteristics, who wrote, unfortunately, this incident reflects a broader pattern where some retired or serving military officers attempt to use armed personnel to intimidate civilian authorities or protect questionable private interests. Such behavior undermines the rule of law, erodes public trust in the armed forces, and weakens Nigeria's democratic institutions. The president, as commander-in-chief, must call the military hierarchy to order. The military must reaffirm its constitutional duty to remain subordinate to civil authority and ensure that no officer serving or retired, uses the uniform to pursue private gain. The Nigerian Armed Forces have a proud history of discipline and service to the nation. That discipline must extend to respecting the boundaries of lawful deployment and upholding the supremacy of civilian authority. The events in the FCT should serve as a wake-up call for renewed civil-military education and strict accountability within the rank. Well, before I come to you, we got reports alleging that, that disputed 30-hectare plot of land in Gadwa district was originally allocated to serving and retired military officers, but was later revoked by Wike. That report has been making the rounds on social media. The report also alleged that the land was reallocated to Wike's political associates and that the revocation and redistribution were carried out in total disregard of due process, official recommendations, and existing approvals. Well, according to a 2022 letter from the FCTA Parks and Recreation Department, the land was originally designated as a green area for park development and was subdivided by various organizations, including Santos Estates Limited and Quiro International Ventures. An approval was reportedly sought since 2014, but ignored despite memos recommending it. The FCT minister was said to have changed the land use from park to recreation to multi-purpose before issuing fresh rights of occupancy to new beneficiary. We're seeing this sort of, reports. And I must say, those documents that were presented right now has not been independently verified by Arise News. But these are the reports that are circulating, plus the fact that it's trending. The dispute, Ayo, exposes the complexity of land administration in the FCT, where powerful interests often collide. Wike has built his FCT tenure on aggressive enforcement against illegal development. These new allegations raise questions about transparency in his own reallocation process. Well, a 2022 video showing the moment a chief superintendent of police defied an order from Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to vacate the Magodo Phase 2 estate amid a lingering land dispute has resurfaced online, drawing sharp comparisons with FCT Minister Nyesom Wike's confrontation with the soldier. Let's take a look.
Call your superior in Abuja and tell them that the governor is here and I'm the chief security officer and that you don't have any business being in my state right now and that I want you to disengage forthwith for him.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, sir. I'm not here on my own orders.
That's why I'm asking you to make a phone call and tell them, your superior, that I'm here standing in front of you. Make that phone call.
Thank you, sir. I'm here on instruction of this Inspector of Police to the AGF, sir. And that is why I'm here. I'm too small or too low to call them. Your Excellency, sir, with due respect, sir, you can call them directly, sir.
I have spoken to the Attorney General at this moment, so he's not aware that you are here.
Well, we are expecting the call that we should disengage.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yes, sir.
Because when I make the phone call, it will be tougher. If you can call and say that the governor is here in front of you, what should you do?
It is not my duty to call because I'm too low to do that, sir.
Okay.
If you call...
So where are your men?
My men are here. They are all over the estate.
You say you're an assistant, what is it?
I'm a chief superintendent of police.
Oh, CSP?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So, pressman, don't worry. I'll make 2 phone calls, right? One to the Inspector General of Police and one to the Attorney General of the Federation. Very illegal operation. They have absolutely nothing, and I'm the chief security of the state.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, give me 5 minutes. I'll make those 2 phone calls.
All right. I mean, that video began trending, and you can see the stark difference between how the minister handled the soldier and how Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, handled a police officer with respect and with respect to the Nigerian public. He didn't call him a fool. He didn't tell him to shut up. He didn't tell him, he was not disrespecting the man in uniform. And you see these pictures have started trending online. I mean, this one say, oh, this one they fear. Oh. I mean, this is it. You are a fool. I'm not a fool, sir. And the military man stood his ground. Ayo,
All right, so some people have described this show of, I don't know what to call it. I'm trying to remove the word show of shame, but I don't think there's anything more elevated, anything better to call it. Yes, it's a show of shame, and it's quite unfortunate that this has happened, but it gives us an opportunity to see what happens. This is impunity versus impunity, because if you look at it objectively, both sides, and as reflected by the tweets or the X posts you read out, are, they come under questioning. Number one is that when you speak to many quarters, this issue could have been resolved amicably without this show of shame and show of force and show of whose power is higher than the other power. What were the options available to the FCT minister? On arriving there, the easiest thing is that when matters like this happen, you go to court. As they always ask, that this could have been resolved using, and this is where we talk about the respect of the rule of law. But guess what? We don't have the respect for rule of law and institutions. Hence, we take matters into our own hands, and then we have a state of anarchy. And that's what ensued yesterday. Very unfortunate incident. A state of anarchy where Nigerians then resort to taking matters into their own hands. So what does this mean? Does it mean that the response to FCT Minister Wike's going around revoking land is to get military on your land so that he will not be able to enter? That's a state of anarchy, whereby people take matters into their own law and they don't respect the rule of law. And so in the same vein as well, the military, former CNS, could have gone to court to challenge the revocation of the land by Mr. Wike, instead of sending his boys to the ground to resist any kind of... But that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. It is the strength of our institutions, and that's why we keep talking about strengthening our institution. I say this because if anything had happened, Wike would have unnecessarily wasted the lives of those servicemen, because he had said that everybody here would die if I wanted to show myself.
No, would have died. I don't think he said...
He said that if they would have been a shootout if he wanted to assert his authority.
No,
so what I'm saying... No, I watched the video.
He said...
I watched the video.
He said, what you're doing here, people would have died.
Yeah, well, so what he meant was that if he had allowed the altercation between his security aides and the military... But that's what I'm saying, that these young men who are supposed to be saving lives and properties of Nigeria would have died for a useless cause because people's egos were God. That's what I'm saying, that if we don't respect institutions and the rule of law, this is what happens with big manism in Nigeria. And so that's why I'm saying that on both sides, we have the courts for a reason. We have due process for a reason. Can we follow due process? For too long, people take matters into their own hands, and we have, powerful people just flouting the laws for no reason. I applaud the uniformed officer. According to a military man, no commissioned officer would take that insult to his person lying low. And so he spoke with dignity, he spoke with respect, and he stood his ground based on orders.
We're yet to hear from the military hierarchy at this point. We've heard from Buratai. So we'd like to see really the resolution to this sort of engagement. Plenty questions were raised, and I'll just ask some of them. And this is for, the military command. First, can the Navy or military stop enforcement action by civil authorities too? Can an officer of the Nigerian Armed Forces in uniform be abused and insulted? Is the uniform not the symbol of the sovereignty of Nigeria? Can civil authorities disrespect the sovereignty of Nigeria as represented in the military officer in uniform? Finally, should the minister not have reported the officer to his commander-in-chief? We did see that he called, and so these are the sort of questions that we want to hear from the military command. Bimba, I've loved your comment, but we've run out of time. I'll take this story and then you can do that. Well, all right. In Edo State, reactions continue to trail the invasion of the Museum of West African Art in Benin City by protesters demanding the facility be renamed Benin Royal Museum. The protesters forced the evacuation of international guests and the cancellation of the museum's opening event. Speaking while receiving a foreign delegation at the government house in Benin City, Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo expressed surprise over the visit, saying he had no prior information about the event. The delegation included representatives from the European Union and German ambassadors. Governor Okpebolo stated that the previous administration never briefed him about MOA, nor handed over any documentation concerning the project. He described the controversy as stemming from lack of transparency by the previous administration administration, questioning how the project evolved from Benin Royal Museum to Edo Museum of West African Art, and now Museum of West African Art without clarity or consultation. Over the weekend, protesters chanted songs in solidarity with the king. Unbelievable. Well, meanwhile, at the palace of Oba Eware II, the Benin monarch lamented that documents brought for him to sign would have taken away their rights to the artifact, declaring that it is like history wanting to repeat itself. He stated that his forefathers suffered during the British invasion of 1897 and that it is unfair that it is happening again. I mean, the MoMA controversy exposes troubling questions about governance, cultural sovereignty, and the return of looted artifacts. How does a sitting governor know nothing about a major international project in his state? Why were documents prepared that the Oba claims would strip Benin of rights to its own heritage, while Governor Okpebolo says he's constituting a committee to investigate? Nigerians must now ask, are we genuinely reclaiming our stolen heritage or witnessing a new form of cultural disposition disguised as restitution? And those are the questions that people are asking at this point. You saw that charade on Sunday. Yeah. It was a complete mess. And we're seeing that the governor is saying that he was not aware. I mean, this is our heritage. Yeah. This is our artifacts. These are not the sort of things that should be played with. The museum was about to be opened and we saw thugs. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, Oji, this breaks my heart because when the artifacts came home or started coming home, one of the biggest issues where people were concerned that these artifacts would be re-looted. That was number one issue. And we gave the assurance that, no, they are ours. We know what to do with them. We know what to handle with them. But now we see what seems to be a growing tension between our royal fathers and the state. This is one example of what we've seen happening several times over in recent years of friction, because this is supposed to be a partially state-owned endeavor. Edo State has equity in this project, and whether it was constituted by Obaseki and has now moved over to Okpebolo, it should not matter who the governor is, because the state itself has equity in this. Now, from the fact that it now seems to be turning into a more privatized project without the consensus of the people that need, the stakeholders that need to have a say in it, is another concerning development. And I stand with the Oba of Benin, who is saying that, well, it looks like this is a recolonization because millions of dollars have poured into this project, with millions more. We're talking up to $100 million that's supposed to come into this project. And how can it be that the stakeholders, the people who preserve and oversee our heritage, are unaware of this, of these transactions? Instead, you see there are some international representatives who are coming in and out, waltzing freely, as if this is London or this is someplace in Berlin. No, this is Edo State. This is Nigeria, and we have the full capacity to ensure that we preserve our heritage. However, the will needs to exist to do so. So all these, this is not an issue that should be politicized. All should come to the table in order to be able to resolve this, to ensure that in 100 years, these artifacts will still stand in this museum for the interest of the preservation of our history. Very quickly on Nyesom Wike, I know I said just one sentence. My one sentence is that what struck me and what hurt me, OG, is that we are seeing optics of civilian versus military in 2025, when we've just come from threats or reports or rumors, whatever you want to call it, of a military coup. the soldiers should be on the war front because we're currently in a national security crisis.
Very well
So
said.
for me, it's unfortunate. Yes, a response to a mistake can also be a mistake.
Yeah.
Nobody was right in that scenario. However, the optics of seeing soldiers confronting, public officials, it's not a good look while we're trying to tell the world that we're committed to the fight against insurgency.
I agree with you. We know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has constituted a high-level presidential committee to address the recent events at MOA and develop a comprehensive framework for permanent resolution. I know that the committee is chaired by the Arts and Culture Minister, Hannatu Musawa, and she's bringing together stakeholders representing national and international interests, including representatives from the presidency, the Palace of the Oba of Benin, Edo State government, German and French embassies, and Senator Ned Maswen, who represents Edo South. Now, this committee will submit its findings and recommendations directly to President Tinubu for swift implementation of sustainable solutions. And I think that this is the right way to go. We're waiting for the reports from this committee. I'm even getting messages that, of course, the Edo State governor knew about the MOMA. He's saying that he didn't know. His constituents are saying that he knew, and that he just was not. He was not invited. But these politics should not be played at this sort of level. These are our artifacts, and we should really protect them. We'll continue to follow up on the story. I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on what's trending, and I really loved your takeaway about what we are facing right now. The military should not be involved in this sort of rancor. And of course, the minister should have acted properly. And that's why two wrongs don't make a. That's why I thought it was important to highlight the video of the governor of Lagos State to contrast it. Well, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. We had more stories, but we'll bring that tomorrow. That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, it's been a great day with all you great ladies. People like Ore Ogubi that fought to bring back the artifacts, the Akuko, will be upset to see what happened in.
So, my people, that is it. As you can see, some have praised the military officer while some condemned his action. So, according to Dele Farotimi, he said that a military officer is protected in the execution of orders that are lawful. The principle established at Norubeg is that only orders that are lawful issued must be obeyed. A soldier has a duty to disobey unlawful orders, and it is not a valid defense to claim that you were merely following orders. So, and under his post, people argued and also reacted about what Dele Farotimi said. So, according to this person, he said the soldier was not obeying an unlawful order. His conviction was total that he was doing the right thing. He told the minister that his principal had genuine land papers. He described himself using the country word integrity. Nobody had told him, let's go do something illegal. And another person said, sir, you just clarified something, but can you help us know what can be termed as lawful order under a military context? So, as you can see, that this is a reaction between what happened to Wike and the military officer yesterday. So, I don't know what you think, which I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section, subscribe, like, share, and I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to Shamress News TV.